Hey everybody, welcome to Geek Addicts.
Hello and welcome to Geek Addicts, the pop culture podcast where we only get 15 minutes to break everything down or we'll spontaneously combust. My name is Matt. With me is podcast aficionado Bill Barber. How's it going, Bill?
Podcast aficionado is fun because this is my second podcast of 3 today. So that
Yeah.
I'm doing okay. It's been a month.
Yeah. So it's been a couple weeks since we've recorded, Bill. What have you been up to?
I went to Wisconsin.
Yeah, how's that?
Oh, it was fun. I got to see cars go fast.
Cargo room?
Pretty much. It was 96 degrees
Fuck that.
in northern Wisconsin, so that was interesting. Yeah, flying. Not a big fan of flying, but the trip was good.
Yeah.
The area was beautiful. Hung out with my mom, and I got home.
That's cool. Very nice.
Other than that, mostly just kind of keeping up with stuff.
I gotcha. We'll be doing a whole lot of keeping up pretty soon. There's a lot of shows are coming back.
Yeah.
Like within the next 2 weeks. Actually, by the time this episode comes out, a lot of them will be back already.
Yeah, I know Kaiju number 8 is the big one I'm waiting on.
That's next Wednesday or Thursday, right?
I think so. I'm not sure if the dub's right away though or not. So
probably not. Although I think with because Dr. Stone also comes back very soon, and I believe that's a simuldub, so we'll be getting that at the same time. So that's good. But yeah, what we're getting what Don to Don, Sakamoto Days, Kaiju, Vending Machine, Dress Up Darling. I feel like I'm missing one or two, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming back.
Yeah, gonna have my my Annie list is gonna end up getting a bunch of ongoings again. Right now, I'm currently sitting at 3, although one of them is indefinitely on hold because it's Baruto, and that's I need to be in the mood for that.
Yeah, you can't force yourself with that one.
We got Apothecary, which is almost done, but they keep skipping weeks, so it's probably going to take longer than we expected.
I was very upset last week when that happened.
So
she says they skipped a week, we got one, and then they skipped another week. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
I thought they skipped this week too, but it just updated for me, so I was like, oh, good. So I gotta watch that.
Yeah, I saw it a couple days ago, or either yesterday, the day before, I don't remember. But I haven't had a chance to. I'll probably watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll watch it either later tonight or probably tomorrow. Speaking of anime, though, I've actually been catching up. I'm at like 37 now, which it's pennies compared to you and Alex's war, but like, hey, that's for me, that's pretty good.
Yeah, she's I don't think I've gotten like an exact number, but I know she's creeping up. She's not already past me. She might have already passed me.
She hasn't. I won't tell you where she is, but I know she has not yet. I'm very curious where this battle's going to end up.
Well, I did watch some more movies last week, so I did get a little bump. And once all these ongoings start, like I see that the thing is when I have an ongoing, I just count that as a watch because as soon as it ends, I'll be caught up. So
yeah, the way I do work with ongoings is I'll put them at the end of my list, and then once they finish, then I'll put stuff after them. But yeah, it's pretty. It's been pretty good. What did I finish? I mentioned. Did I talk about? I watched. My Senpai is Annoying last week, or did I not mention that one?
Well, we haven't recorded for 2 weeks, so I don't know if you were even watching it at that point.
I was, because it was 2 weeks ago. I might not have mentioned that one yet. I watched a it was a short 12er called My Senpai is Annoying. It was a very lighthearted anime. It was fun. The characters are kind of it's very sad when the main couple is less interesting than the side couple, but
well, that's kind of how I felt about Community Todoke. So
yeah, but at least that one goes somewhere. In this one straight up just doesn't like
fair.
at all.
That's fair.
Apparently, even in the manga, it like doesn't go anywhere, and it ends up it doesn't even it like ends with like a time skip, and it's just like, oh yeah, they're just married now. It's like, oh cool, I guess.
I'm still working on my Inuyasha watch through. I'm
nice.
About midway through what Netflix classifies as season 4, so I'm coming up on episode 100.
I did double check for you. I don't think the final season is on Netflix, so you're gonna have to figure something.
Oh no! Final act is on there. Or do you mean the final act of regular?
So there's a season missing. Season 7 is missing because I did actually check the episode counts.
Yeah, I have it on my hard drive. It's fine.
Okay.
I've been watching on Netflix mostly because downloads on Netflix take up less space than my actual downloads, and yes. B, I do have a few missing episodes just from corrupted files. So
gotcha.
It was just to keep it consistent, but I'm pretty sure those were all towards the beginning, so I should be okay.
Yeah. I mean, the full series is on Hulu regardless, but so what arc are you on right now?
I think I forget what they're called, but that little like troop of like 7 guys, I'm pretty sure that's going to start soon. The
band of 7.
I'm like right before I'm almost at the point where you're supposed to watch the second movie. So I'm at like episode 90 or so.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what just happened. I'm pretty sure I just went through a bunch of filler shit, but I'm also not sure what's filler, what's not, so I'm not sure. I'm like 95% positive that Panther Demon stuff is filler.
I don't remember. I'll have to double check.
But I saw that.
Does he have the red sword?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes, he has the red Saiga. Also, I want to point out that I find it really funny that like we get through 70 episodes of the show before they're like, oh, by the way, Tensaiga has a special ability where it steals powers from people it kills. It's just like, all right, where's all its crazy powers? Because it's killed a lot of fucking demons up to this point.
Well, it only learns significant powers, because I mean,
we've seen some significant shit. I don't know. Cutting off Shishodoru's arm should have got him something.
Well, I think it has to absorb the power. I guess if it doesn't absorb it, it doesn't. I don't know.
The way it's described is it has to drink their blood, and I'm pretty sure cutting somebody's arm off classifies. But whatever.
Rumiko didn't write it.
She hadn't thought about like, oh,
he didn't think of that idea until later.
He needs more powers, but everything is based on his sword. How do I make this happen?
Yeah, that's fun though.
Yeah.
The Band of 7 is very much either like it or don't like it, so I'm curious to see what your thoughts are.
Well, I mean, I've watched it before. It was years ago though, so I don't remember a ton. I feel like I remember it going on longer than I wanted it to.
Well, I won't spoil anything, but the ending kind of, I won't say anything, but I'll say the ending is arguably the reason I think why most people don't like it, but
that's fair. Also, so one of the episode we released last, we were talking about Inuyasha and like filler stuff. And you had said the thing about like the puppet Kagome and the puppet Inuyasha. So is all of the Dark Priestess shit filler? Like her as a character and everything around her, is that all filler?
I think
that was during the Dark Priestess stuff.
I think so. She might still be a character. I'll have to double check. I think she might be a character, but all of her her lackeys definitely don't exist. The puppets definitely don't. I'll have to double check on that.
I was just curious because that was one of those arcs that always stood out to me. Like I always remembered that arc. And
that's why Inuyasha filler is so interesting, because a lot of people don't even realize it's filler until they read the manga.
Yeah.
Like anything at the school is general, like towards like the later part of the series is most of the time filler.
I love that whenever Kagome is back home, her and her friends just hang out at McDonald's.
Yes. And they shit on Inuyasha the entire time until they meet him, and then they're like, he's hot.
She's like, okay, Kagome, we get it now.
Yeah. I mean, they're the true villains of the series, as far as I'm concerned.
Fair.
Speaking of Inuyasha, though, Yashahime, the manga, ended a few days ago.
How long is it?
9 volumes.
That's not too bad.
No, I mean, we only have 6 in America at the moment that have been officially localized, but the series has officially concluded as of now. I don't know what's going to go on with that any farther, but
so we had some news. Apparently we are getting more Kaguya-sama.
We are, but it's not exactly what everyone hoped.
I mean, has it been confirmed that it's not going to be like an actual season, or
it's a special? It's been confirmed. It's a special. My only concern is the image that they are using to promote it is 100% the end of the series. Like that, that is straight up like the end. So I'm kind of concerned they're going to skip right to the end and just wrap it up.
I don't like that.
I don't either, because there's a lot of stuff there that I hope they at least, even if they abridge it, they at least kind of touch on everything. I don't want them to just do like the final couple of chapters and then call it a day.
I just don't want Ishigami to get the shaft. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, he has a good ending, even if it's really character. His ending's very ambiguous, but it's a good ending. So
I gotcha. So it figures right after we do that episode, and only 5 years since the last one. Apparently, Paramount is working on making another adaptation of The Stand again already.
Cool. Oh, will they screw it up again?
It shows how much faith they had in the one they made the last time, which can't confirm bad.
Oh, I did also start watching a show called High Score Girl. It's on Netflix.
I feel like I've heard of that one.
It's pretty fun. It's so much video game fan service. Like they have legitimate like footage of like Street Fighter and like Virtual Fighter and like all these arcade games. Like they straight up have like Saturns and PlayStations at one point. It's very fun. It's very cute and entertaining. And I have 2 more episodes of that. I've been watching it. I also watched a bunch of movies because I may or may not have just recorded 3 anime films.
Oh yeah, so you watched Depression, the anime.
So that one is not included, but I did watch it.
So I saw that, I was like, oh no, what have you done?
I watched Look Back. Gonna be talking about that on GNC. This will probably come out before that. So I watched Look Back. I watched a film called it's a Netflix anime. It's called, it has one of those long names. Makia, When the Promised Flower Blooms. That one was okay.
It's one of the few Netflix ones I haven't watched yet.
I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I'll save my thoughts for that episode when it comes out later. And then the final film was 5 centimeters per second, another Shinkai film. And boy, did I have odd thoughts about that one.
Yeah, it's something, that's for sure.
You can tell that Your Name was definitely there's a reason Your Name was his mainstream breakthrough.
Yeah, that was his big break.
Yeah. Also, 5 centimeters per second is from like 2007. It's actually a lot older than I thought.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That one I had some weird thoughts on. I also watched Grave of the Fireflies. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the fucked up thing about that movie, Bill, is like you start it and like literally the first thing that happens in that movie is the kid dies in the gutter.
Well, yeah, the entire movie is a foregone conclusion.
Exactly. So you're watching like that happens, and then you start going like the little dead kids are looking back on their lives, and you see all these like cute, sweet moments between the older brother and the younger sister, and the whole time in the back of your mind, whenever something like endearing or adorable is happening, you're like, oh, but they're dead.
Yeah. And
so
also,
you're just not allowed to be happy watching that movie ever.
Well, no, the entire movie is extremely bleak. It is an excellent film. for what it is, but fuck.
Yeah.
And the worst part is too, you watch it and you realize, I mean, the entire theme of the movie is war as hell because the whole movie takes place towards the end of World War II in Japan. Like that famous image, like there's a famous poster for the film which shows the two main characters with a bunch of fireflies around them. But then you look closely and you can see the silhouette of a plane and you realize those aren't fireflies, those are fucking bombs. Like it's like holy shit. The other thing that's really sad and makes the movie feel very real is the fact that when you really think about it, everything that happens to the kids is kind of their own fault.
Yeah.
And it's and
it's mostly the brother's fault. The little sister was just kind of dragged along.
Tragically, yeah. It's just the movie. The thing about the movie is it's very bleak, but it's also very real. And I think it's one of the things that sets it off compared to like the Miyazaki films, because it's the other director that's very prominent at Studio Ghibli, did Grave of the Fireflies. But yeah, that was a movie I finished watching and I was just like, I need to watch something stupid now because I can't. Everything sucks.
Yep. I need to watch like Bluey or something. Like this is.
Did you know when that movie was first released in theaters, it was a double feature?
What was the second movie?
Just another film called My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah, that's fair.
Talk about fucking mood whiplash.
Yeah, I mean you kind of have to like.
Yeah, but just imagine like you get like I don't know which one was first, so either way, it's still.
I'd hope Totoro was second.
Even then, though, imagine going from that bleak shit to suddenly sunshine and rainbows and being like just dead inside watching it the whole time.
Yep. No shit.
Oh, yeah. That I watched.
So, have you watched Pompoko yet?
I have not, but Alex did, and she told me it was interesting as well.
Did she tell you any details?
It has a nature message to it. That's about it.
Okay. See, that's all you need to know. So when you watch it, we're gonna do an episode on it.
Okay.
And
it's not high on.
You should be there for that.
Okay. It's not high on my priority right now, just because I have like 5 other things lined up. But when I get to it, I'll let you know.
Well, the next time you need, the next time you watch something fucking depressing like Grave of the Fireflies and you need a palate cleanser, make that the one.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah. I don't even think technically my palate cleanser for Grave of the Fireflies was the fucking movie we're talking about today. Now that I think about it, that was the next thing I watched.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's like especially happy or uplifting, but it's a good film. It has a good ending.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got for stuff I've been watching. I watched a NASCAR race last night. That was fun. That's about it.
Yeah. I haven't really been doing much on. I've been super busy the past few days, so I didn't really have much time to like sit down and like do anything.
Yeah, it's been it's going to be a busy couple of weeks because next week's 4th of July, so that's going to be also
So we'll probably have to record like on Saturday or something next weekend as well because
that's fine. We can make that work. Maybe we can try and get a double in. Maybe we can try and get a double in too.
Yeah, because I'm going to be trapped in downtown Plymouth from the 3rd to the like the morning of the 5th.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, we could probably do like Saturday night or something. We can figure that out. But
we'll see how things go. I mean, Saturday's my birthday too, so I don't know if I have anything going on. But
maybe if not Sunday. If not Sunday.
Well, I mean, we could definitely do at least one. I'm saying I don't know about a double, but we'll see.
Okay. Gotcha.
I also I started. It was kind of just a casual rewatch, but I started rewatching Cowboy Bebop because it's been too long. It's one of those ones that you can always just throw on, and it's a good show to just have on.
Yeah, it's a good. You don't really have to pay attention because you just know it kind of film shows.
But it's one of those things where like the art really fucking holds up, and just like the music, the tone of it all, like there's a reason why it's considered one of the greats.
Yeah, no, it's held up. I don't know if it's still considered the greatest dub of all time anymore, but it's definitely like the first one that people have really took serious.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is dubbing is being taken a lot more seriously nowadays.
We've had so many great dubs
I
since
still
then.
think it's wonderfully solid.
I mean, it's an S tier
especially
dub.
for its time.
Especially it's an S tier, yeah. It's an S tier dub. It's just we've had dubbing has come so far since then.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, fucking look at like some of the voice acting we get in things like Solo Leveling and
oh yeah,
because like fucking what's his name, Alex Lee,
yeah,
like he fucking I've seen a couple of videos of him in the booth recording his lines, and it's intense.
He also like ad-libbed so many fucking lines in that show.
And then like obviously Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot of quality shit. Even something like Blue Lock has an incredible dub.
Yeah. No, dubbing's come so far. It's come so far. But I guess I don't have anything else to add if we want to jump into our topic for this week.
Yeah.
So this week we're going back into live action anime films. This one we kind of had to do next just because of the last film we talked about. We are doing the third Rurouni Kenshin live action film, which is a direct follow up to the second one, which was the last one we covered. So we kind of had to. We couldn't just let it sit for that long. We had to really jump into it.
We couldn't let a year and a half go by, like the gap between the first and second.
Poor Karu was in the fucking ocean. We had to save her.
Yeah, right. Even though we didn't see her until like halfway through the film, and then she was just kind of in a bed.
I fucking Karu got the raw end of the deal in this movie. That's for sure.
Like a lot of people did.
Because this film does a lot better than. Because I remember I had thought like the previous film handled Karu's like depression a lot better than the original anime did.
Yeah,
the original anime, I was like, God damn it! But
yeah, well, the second, I mean, I had my problems with the second movie, and I made that very clear when we did the last episode. But I will say that while I still have issues with some of the decisions they made, this next movie that we're talking about today kind of like wrapped up a lot of the stuff I wasn't crazy on in a way that I found satisfying. So, I mean, while things are still very different, and a lot of characters got the shaft. I think looking at it on its own, it concludes very neatly for the most part.
So the film we're talking about is Rurouni Kenshin: The Legend Ends, or Rurouni Kenshin 3, as it's listed on Netflix. Thank God all 5 of them are on Netflix now, because that was really annoying for a while there.
That was one of the main reasons why we didn't do it for so long.
Yeah, because 2 and 3 were just missing.
Yeah, I mean, we did want to just kind of spread it out, not just do the same thing for weeks and weeks, but like a big part of it was just because it wasn't available.
True. Because, I mean, I still think out of all the live actions we've done, I still think the first Rurouni Kenshin film might still be the best one.
Yeah. I'd say that's when you're looking at it in terms of, is this a good movie and does it stand on its own without prior knowledge? Like, obviously it did well enough because it got you to watch the original 90s anime. So
yeah, it was intriguing. That's what I will say. Yeah, this movie though, it literally is a direct follow-up to the end of Kyoto Inferno, or Disco Inferno, as I kept calling it in the previous episode. We're kind of right at the end where because the previous movie changed up the whole thing where Kaoru gets kidnapped, which didn't happen in the manga or the original anime.
Yeah.
And she gets thrown in the ocean, and then Kenshin also gets thrown in the ocean, and they both wash up on strange shores.
And Kenshin is found by his master, which, surprise, we knew he was coming at some point.
Yes.
Chris Sabat.
Yep, they're Chris Sabat sighting. I heard that voice. I went, there he is.
It figures that they give him the master role too.
I mean, it's perfectly in character for him. Yeah. So in terms of adapting the source material, it's fairly, like the previous 2 films, it's fairly accurate, but it does take liberties in places.
Yeah, it's the training arc happening when it does alone is a big liberty because it was all supposed to happen before like the Kyoto Inferno happened.
Yeah, because I guess pacing wise, they wanted to they needed something to happen in the third film. Because one of my gripes with this film, it's also, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they made these both the second film and the third film at the same time. They were kind of splitting their resources between the two.
Yeah.
One of my biggest issues with this film in particular is there is a lot of points where, like, I think this film is too long, for starters.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, it's which was the second one that long? I don't remember.
I don't think it was quite. I think it was like 2. I think the first and the second were both like 2.
Yeah, I feel like because there is a lot of points in this film where you're just sitting there, you're like, I was literally like, get on with it. It's like nothing is happening.
Yeah, well, I mean, the training arc went on for a bit.
Well, what would happen was they do the training stuff, and then they cut to like, where's Karu? Oh, she washed up on shore. Sanosuke is going to scream in a hospital for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Actually, they bring that up, like that whole scene where, like, I don't know, like Kaoru had been in the hospital for a bit, and Yahiko's just having like a moment where he's just like super pissy about whatever, and like he's like yelling at Sanosuke, just like, go watch Kaoru or whatever, and he like goes into the hospital and sits down at her bed, and it's just kind of staring off into space, and he's just like, wait a minute. She's not here. He just like freaks out.
That was a funny scene because it's very in character for Sanosuke. Speaking of Yahiko, he fucking does nothing in this movie.
Yeah, he really was just relegated to the
I'm here
fanboy character.
I get one line, basically.
Yeah, which kind of sucks because Yahiko like actually did have like a lot of character development throughout the series.
He did. I will say he wasn't super involved with this arc in the anime either, but he still did more than he does.
He took out one of the 10 swords in the anime.
Yeah, he did. He did do that
by coppering a Heite Mitsurugi move.
True. Yeah, Karu spends most of this movie in a hospital bed, and then she kind of just shows up at the end, and she's just there. Doesn't do much. Sanosuke has some good moments.
But he still kind of got the shaft. He didn't get his training arc. He still got to fight the monk, but he had no connection to him. He just like literally just like, there he is. I'll fight you.
Hell, Megumi had like more fucking to do in this movie than like most people did.
Yeah, and apparently because in the last one, didn't she show up to treat the old guy after Aoshi fucked him up?
Yeah.
And then the next time we see her is when Kenshin gets back to Tokyo.
Yeah, she's just back at the dojo now. She's just
already there. Yeah.
I mean, I will say that was one of the best scenes in the movie because one thing I will still say is the fight choreography in these films is fucking amazing.
It's incredible. Like, honestly.
Like the scene where all the soldiers come after Kenshin in the dojo and Megumi's like, you'll have to go through me. And Kenshin's like, okay, you go behind me now because you're going to get killed. Like him like moving around with her to keep her out of harm's way, and then having like
just like how casually he was dodging all the sticks throughout that scene. I love that whole sequence.
I just love how he like kind of like moves her behind him, and then he eventually just backs away, and he's like, "All right, you
get behind there."
He's like, "You stand over there now. Stay out of the way." Unfortunately, I don't like the way that fight ends, but they needed a reason for him to get captured so they could do the big fake out execution scene later.
I did think it was really unnecessary for that guy to break his stick over Kenshin's back after he had already put his sword down.
Well, the military in this series is just kind of obnoxious.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think part of it is because like there are special squads that are allowed to carry swords, like special officers, but like most officers just have a stick.
Yeah.
So when you're going up against somebody with a sword, I can imagine tensions are pretty high.
Yeah. Which is always funny when it's
I was just gonna say I thought it was cool in that we got the scene of Kenshin meeting his master and getting his new name. Like I was glad that they included that.
Yeah, they've been very interesting with how they do the flashbacks in these movies because they do them way more effectively than the anime did. As in, they actually do them.
And this is the third movie in a row. Like, so far, we've seen it at least once every movie that we've watched so far, where they flash back to him killing the guy who is about to get married and getting his first scar.
Yes.
Well, because we have going to come into a head in the next movie.
We have to see Tomo cry over the body for like the 50th time. Like,
yeah, right.
Because meaning.
Although, like, if memory serves, in the Trust and Betrayal OVA, like, wasn't she just kind of like catatonic when she saw it? Like, she didn't like have a moment or anything. She was just like, oh, fuck.
She's very whatever, and then she just goes to a whorehouse after. It's like damn, like she got over that. Yeah, it's just weird.
I'm curious to see how they handle that.
Yeah, because there's the next two movie. I'm not sure what order we want to do the next two, and we'll find it. We'll decide when we get around to it.
But, I'm pretty sure the next one is like the Trust and Betrayal story, and then the one after that is like the final arc.
Which is weird though, because they released the other way around.
Are you sure?
Yeah, according to Wikipedia, that one they were made at the same time, so they came out like literally right around the same time. But they apparently released the finale before they released the beginning.
That's bizarre. Well, I still think we should go 4 and 5. We should mix it up. And honestly, I feel like doing the backstory first and then having the follow up with the, I guess, brother-in-law showing up, who, by the way, is played by the guy who plays Zoro in the one live action One Piece.
Interesting.
Which I find really really interesting to learn, because with how fucking insane the fight choreography is in these movies, probably explains a lot for how fucking good he is in the One Piece. Like, he got all of his training from these movies.
True. So I do want to talk positives about this movie. I still fucking love Shishio's character, the guy who plays him, and then the voice actor as well for the dub.
Yeah, even what was the voice act, because he I don't remember the actor's name, but he was Mr. Hannes in Attack on Titan. He was Gajiel in Fairy Tail. He's been around. He's been tons of people.
I think it's like David Wald. His name is.
And then what's his name? Hojo, the guy who's like, dresses like a rich dude or whatever, but he's like super obsessed with Shishio, and like I thought he was very well portrayed. Like I found him like kind of stupid, annoying in the anime, but here I actually found him to be like a fun character.
I love how much they cheese up the fucking scenery when they're fucking acting, some of these actors, because like when they're about to execute Kenshin in the middle of the film, the one guy who's like doing like the I think it's the guy you're talking about. He's all like super dramatic about it. And then the second it's like Kenshin's like, surprise, bitch. He's like, oh no, I gotta jump on my
He goes and hides behind the mercenaries like immediately.
Yeah, because that
he was played by Ian Sinclair, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a voice
perfect casting option. Perfect casting option.
Yeah. I did love the scene too with like Shishio in the meeting with the head of the military. And that one guy gets stabbed, and like Shishio's like, hey, don't waste the cutlery.
Some of the like quips that Shishio has throughout these two movies is super funny.
Shishio is like one of the characters that they got absolutely right.
Yeah, they fucking nailed him.
Because he is a great villain, but he's also like, he's not just like evil for the sake of being evil. He's actually got like a character to him, which makes him very interesting.
Yeah, like revenge is a part of it, but like I feel like that's not his main motivation, and that makes him a very interesting character.
I know that the films don't have the highest budgets either, but like I did think the effect of like his fire sword, which I still don't understand how that fucking works, but whatever.
Well, in the anime, all right, so they don't really call attention to it in this film. In the anime, they explain it. So basically, his sword is serrated very finely, and the explanation for why he can make fire with it is because when he cuts people with his serrated blade, their body fat gets stuck in the sword, and then when he strikes with his sword, it like makes the fat ignite. And that's like supposed, and I think his gloves are like made out of a special material to make that happen. I'm not 100% sure on that bit, but like
it's mostly probably anime bullshit, but like it's
interesting. It super is, especially since in this film, like there are points where he's just swinging it through the air. It doesn't hit anything, but
yeah, it just ignites. It looks cool, damn it! It looks cool.
Yeah, it does. It does.
But
yeah,
I did think the final fight with Shishio was very well done. Like, especially
the final group fight with everybody showing up all at once. Like, and I love when Sanosuke shows up. He's just like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Sanosuke gets fucked up in this fight. Like, holy shit!
Oh yeah.
Like, did that? Time. What was the shit he poured on him that just made it worse? I was like, what? I'm like, what the hell is he doing there? There's a point where he like dumps a bunch of shit all over him, and he also is like, ah. I'm like, what was the point of that? Like, you just
he did that because the monk guy had him in a chokehold and he was trying to slip out.
Gotcha.
So he dumped it on himself so it'd be easier for him to slip through the grip.
Gotcha. Because I was like, what?
Right before he tickled him.
Yeah. Yeah. They also did a scene I was curious how they were going to handle was the iconic like Sanosuke like fake out scene when Kenshin, you think Kenshin is finally you think Kenshin's won this and like Sanosuke's down, not Sanosuke, Shishio's down. And then his little lover shows up and like is like, please, he's hurt. And then he fake out and stabs her and stabs Kenshin through her.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great scene in the anime, and I'm glad that they also made it very good here.
Yeah, they definitely did it justice there because it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, that was fucked up, but like she was like so fucking happy about it. So it's like I don't know how to feel about this scene.
Well, it's such a weird thing because it's like when you look at their relationship, it's like he does love her, but he also uses her to his advantage.
It gets some serious like Joker Harley Quinn vibes off the two of them.
He's not really abusive to her though. Like not like the Joker is. The Joker is that's just straight up an abusive relationship.
Well, I just mean like the way that they come off, you know.
Yeah, it's a less extreme version of that because there is actually, I think, genuine like affection in this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Just from the way he acts, like especially like after she falls, he catches her, and then like
he does like even like as he's like trying to like once he's actually like lost the fight and he's like, oh, I'm out of here, blah blah blah. And he's still like he picks up her body and he's like going to leave with her.
Yeah. Like he does care. Like it's their relationship, even in the manga and the anime, is very interesting. Like it's actually kind of compelling how well it's written. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad it was transferred over here pretty well. I will say the scene where he bursts into flames after he does get defeated was really fucking like goofy.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's like, as he's burning.
Actually, come to think of it, I feel like Shishio's relationship with his woman there is like a weird like reversal of the relationship between Kenshin and Kaoru.
Kinda.
Because they're like just as like loyal and committed to each other. But on the other ends of the spectrum where like Shishio is like crazy murderous, like, you know, do what I got to do to make things happen that I want. And then, and she's supporting that, like doing everything she can to help as much as she's able. But then on the other end of it, we have the relationship between Kenshin and Kaoru, which is like just as loyal, just as, you know, trusting and all that. But like, she's there to keep him on the straight and narrow. And like, there's a lot of points throughout the series where if she wasn't there, he would have reverted back to the killer.
Well, yeah, like we see it in the first movie and like the anime, like he was going to kill that guy who had her captured, but he didn't because of her. Kaoru is also kind of like a symbolism. It's Kenshin learning to love again kind of thing.
Yeah.
Especially as we learn from Trust and Betrayal.
Yeah, no kidding.
He has a hard time with that kind of stuff.
There's a reason why he was keeping a firm distance away from relationships for a while.
I will say that the live action definitely speeds up their relationship a lot more than the anime or manga did. I
mean, you kind of have to cut it down to fit into the runtime, you know.
True. They're a lot closer like a lot faster here, and I'm just like, okay.
And I did love the symbolism of when he gets back to Tokyo and Megumi gives him back the red and white outfit. Especially because like that has more meaning in this version of the story, because in the first movie Kaoru said it belonged to her father, even though he in the anime and manga he already had it when he showed up. That was his outfit.
That was just kind of a movie change, I'd say, because they really they wrote things differently in the live action for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, Sanosuke definitely kind of got the shaft with this, because like they kind of skipped around a lot of shit. And I'm glad he was involved in the final fight, and he did work. You know, he did his part. And I love how Shishio's reaction to him too. She's like, "Who the hell are you?" And he's just like, but then like Shishio just fucking like wrecks him. Like, and it wasn't even like his sword that knocked him down. It was just like, no, I'm just gonna punch you through a giant fucking wooden crate and just leave you there.
Yeah. I feel like they could have done more Sanosuke stuff during all those scenes, like where like nothing was happening.
Well, yeah, it could have been while all this stuff was happening with Kenshin's training. It could have been them going through their 2 training arcs, but like, which is pretty sure what actually happened in the anime.
Okay, because the only other real significant fight we kind of skipped over was the Kenshin versus Aoshi, yeah, which was that was a pretty good fight. I still think Aoshi's actor looks kind of goofy for the role, but
I mean, I feel like the look is fine. I still feel like the writing itself of like his motivation and everything just doesn't make sense without all the other Oniwaban characters.
Yeah,
but I did like how that wrapped up, where he beat him, and then like he does the whole thing like you're lacking meaning in your life when you find what you're missing, and if you still want to be the best, I'll be your opponent. And like he kind of has like a moment, and like especially, you know what it was? It was after what the fuck is her name? The purple ninja chick.
Misao.
When Misao like kind of forgives him and like, you know, says like, no, I'm not going to kill you. You know, if Kenshin of all people can change, so can you. And like he kind of breaks down there for a minute, and like he starts crying, which you wouldn't expect from him.
Yeah, because that really doesn't happen in anything else. But
yeah, he's a very contained, closed off kind of person. He keeps his emotions in check most of the time.
I was gonna say, I already forgot her name.
Misao.
Misao is another extremely underutilized character in this film.
Yeah, a lot of the minor characters really just kind of got put to the side in these films, which I get it, but it still kind of sucks.
Because like in the second film, I love the scene where she steals Kenshin's sword. Like that scene is so fucking good.
Yeah.
This one,
she did stab Aoshi in the back.
Sure did.
And he like kicked the shit out of her for it.
Yeah, people get fucked up in this movie.
Yeah. But no, and then when Aoshi shows up during the final fight with Shishio too, like that was pretty badass.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I did also like the scene too, like after like Kenshin escapes from the execution and they get on the boat because they're heading over to Shishu's ship. You got Kaoru, like Yakio and the gang are, they're like running around. They're like, "Where's Kenshin?" So it just kind of peers off to the boat. It's like, oh, he already left.
And I realized during this last watch, because I watched it this morning, how the fuck did Saito and Aoshi get to the boat? Because I only saw the one dinghy that they took. That it was a bunch of police officers rowing, and it was just Kenshin and Sanosuke and nobody else. Saito was fighting the blind dude. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that, because he didn't fight the blind dude. He killed him in one hit, which was because the blind dude was supposed to be like one of the biggest, baddest fucking dudes in the anime, and he literally was beaten one hit here.
Yeah.
Which was ridiculous.
They probably, because they don't show it, it's probably implied they found another boat or something.
I guess. I mean, at first I was like, well, maybe they swam, but when we see Saito on the boat for the first time, first of all, he's completely dry, and second of all, he's smoking a cigarette. So if he had swum, there's no way the cigarettes would have made it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there had to be another one, but they didn't show it, so
it's implied that's they arrived. That's all we know. Yeah, other than that though, like thinking about it, this was it's one of those cases where it's like I get why they split them in two, but I don't think they managed what they split between the two movies very well.
Yeah, well, it's like we mentioned last time, like there are definitely some things in the second one that should have been in the first one and vice versa. They should have flip-flopped it around a little bit. I mean, we say this, we're not filmmakers. We don't, I'm sure it's difficult enough just adapting something in a way that makes sense. Obviously, it has to be difficult to some degree, considering how few good ones there are. These ones being the exceptions to that, like definitely far and away some of the best ones.
I mean, this is my least favorite of the three we've watched so far, but I still think that even this movie is better than like all the live actions we've covered.
Really? I mean, I don't know, because I didn't dislike any of the three. Just say that first.
Well, I don't dislike this movie. I just think it's the weakest of the three.
Well, in a lot of ways, I feel like, I guess maybe, but maybe only if we watch the second and the third back to back, because a lot of the problems from the second one were fixed with this one.
See, my problem is though, like the second one, I was at least like thoroughly engaged the entire way through. This one, there was so many moments where I was just like, "Get on with it, please."
This one was all training and action.
There was too many moments in this movie where there was just nothing happening, and I think that was kind of the problem.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I did like a lot of like the little back and forths between Kenshin and the Master.
Mm. Yeah, they had some great
character moments there.
They had some great dialogue. I just felt like it was too stretched out. Like that's my thing. I feel like this movie's too bloated.
And I love how Misao shows up to tell him that, like, well, first of all, that they found Kaoru and that Kenshin was wanted. But like, she shows up and he's like, "How did you find me?" She's, "Don't worry about it. Anyways, I just did. Shut up."
I still can't get over that scene with Sanosuke in the hospital and he's like, Kaoru. They're like, "Sir, if there's patients trying to sleep," he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and starts immediately screaming again.
"This is a hospital, sir."
He's like, sorry. And then he gets the car and he's like, "Kaoru, are you awake?" And she's clearly asleep. And it's like,
yep.
It's like, oh, jeez.
Too funny. But I mean, all in all, like, I still think this is a solid film. I mean, this thing is like, we haven't gone very far, like time wise in this episode, but I mean, I feel like we've mostly covered everything. And that's the thing. It isn't to say that, like, well, I'll say it's not the way that, like, say, The Girl from the Other Side was. Like, it's not like, oh, this is just pretty and there's nothing else to say. It's just that, like, really, this movie is just wrapping up all the threads that were made in the first of the two, which mostly is just action.
Yeah.
Oh, also, the old guy died in this version.
Yeah, he did.
Which is a bummer, because I liked him. He's a lot goofier in the anime, but still.
Most characters are goofier in the original anime.
True. This is true. Did we hear
so
Kenshin
weird.
say Odo at all?
No. Kenshin was very serious in this movie.
I mean, I can understand why.
I mean, he's generally more serious in the live action than he is in the anime in general. I mean, the 96 anime, he is overly comic at times.
Mm-hmm.
This one, he's a lot more grounded. I haven't watched the new one, so I don't know how they handle it there yet. But
it's pretty much an even split. He's serious when he's supposed to be, but for the most part, he's just Kenshin doing his Kenshin thing.
Yeah,
not as 90s, but
the 96, he was very much like the butt of many jokes, which is really weird for the main character. But It was the style at the time.
For sure.
Because it's really weird, because like in the 96 anime, they made Kaoru like overly slapsticky, because that was just funny back then. And Kenshin was like, he was almost like the pathetic goofball half the time. In this one, they make them a lot more serious, which, to be honest, probably works more for like the source material. But
yeah, well, I mean, it's a serious situation, you know. I am still a little upset that we didn't get any more of the guy with all the swords.
Yeah,
I liked him. I don't know. I know he doesn't show up in the anime either, but like, I mean, considering we cut so many other people short, and like he actually had like a good sequence of events in the previous movie. Like, you know, I was kind of hoping he'd pop back up, but no such luck.
What'd you think of the lip syncing this time around? I thought it was, for the most part, pretty good, like with the dub, but there were a few moments where I was like, yeah, that was a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. There was a few moments where I was like, probably could have done that a little bit better. But for the most part, I mean, there were even some moments where it was almost seamless.
Yeah, you'd only really notice if you're, well, I mean, they're very clearly not the people talking, but.
And there's also a few moments where like they are lip syncing, like the actor is definitely talking, but like they're barely moving their mouths, so it almost looks like they're just dubbing over just nothing.
I mean, it's way better than like those early like foreign film dubs where like they didn't even try, and it's really funny to watch. But yeah, that's really about it though for the Kenshin movies. Well, for the third movie.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling the next one will have a lot more to say on it.
That,
especially since like yeah, that is like a part 1, part 2 kind of situation, but they're also like isolated stories in the timeline. So I feel like those two will work better as like standalones to cover one at a time than this one and the previous one.
Yeah, well, because I know. So the two remaining movies there's the finale, which covers the often forgotten the arc that was never adapted, that we always keep forgetting about. Which I honestly, I should probably read the manga at some point just so I get some backstory for it, because the most we've seen of it is that really abridged version of it in that one movie, Reflections, which wasn't very good.
No, it was not. Because they kept like splicing it between that and like Kenshin going nuts from syphilis or whatever the fuck that was.
Kaoru dying like just every few minutes. That's such a depressing movie. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, yeah. Even though I have my feelings about it, I still kind of want to watch it again because it's been so long, just to refresh my memory on it. And like also since, well, first of all, those are live action movies we'll be watching, and then with the remake, eventually they're going to cover those arcs. So
I hope so. I hope we get them this time, because
season 2 ended pretty much exactly where the last film we covered ended, like on the boat. Although in the anime version they sank the boat.
Sink the boat.
And which I could be wrong, but in the 90s anime, didn't they like not even get to board the boat? Like they were at the final fight happened like at the pier before they boarded.
Maybe.
I feel like it was like a secret tunnel situation. Like they were taking a secret tunnel to the boat, and that was like along the secret tunnel was all like the different guys that everybody had to break off and fight on their own. And then the final fight with Shishio happened at the pier. I could be misremembering that, but that feels right to me.
I think so. It's been a year since I've seen that, so I'd have to retake a look.
It's been significantly longer since I watched that part, at least. But yeah.
Oh, we'll have to wait and see on that. I guess this is a good enough time to wrap it up. This is a shorter one this week.
Still went for about an hour, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, pretty close. But yeah, I guess anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on Geek Addicts. You can find Geek Addicts on all the major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. And be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network. That is superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site where you can find all sorts of different blogs, videos, podcasts, a whole bunch of other awesome creators over there. We just wrapped up the recent game club, and Matt's game finally won. So
hooray!
Everyone's going to play Legacy of Goku 2, hopefully.
Yeah, they may just opt out. I hope Brack doesn't opt out. I really want him to play it.
We'll see.
I want him to recognize that it's a good game, even though Dragon Ball Z is attached to it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll find out. I might try to play it. No promises because my schedule sucks, but I might try.
It's an easy game to fall into, though.
I know, like it's easy.
You already know the story, so you can just skip through the dialogue.
I know. It's one of those things where I'm just like, I never have time to sit down and play, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. But yeah, anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all later.
Have a good one.